Regular meeting of the Ellwood City Area School District to order. Today is Thursday, March 19th, 2015. We have a roll call. Mr. Zarone.
Mr. Bazzelli.
Here.
Mr. Cortez.
Here.
Mr. Garda. Here. Mrs. Grossman. Mr. Morella. Mr. Newpower.
Here.
Mrs. Pansera.
Here.
Mrs. Petrelli.
Here.
Mr. Stevenson. Mr. McMurdo.
Here.
Mr. Mancini.
Here.
Mr. DeCara.
Here.
Great. We could rise for a moment of silent meditation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right. I trust that everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes of our previous meetings. If there are no questions, I'd like to have a motion to accept the minutes. Ms. Pansera, second by Mr. Cortez. Okay, sorry, Mr. Jerome. All in favor of the approval of the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Motion passes. All right, we're going to start off with Mr. McMurdo with our student council report.
My name is Carter McMurdo, and this past month, Student Council, we held a mentoring activity for 7th graders, and the theme was to spring into good relationships, and we gave various eggs with info about how students can be in better relationships with their friends and how to make them better students, ways that you can study with your friends, and you can become better friends in different ways like that. Also here for explain prom this year to all of you. I'm the president of the junior class, and this year's prom is going to be held at the Days Inn in Butler at the Crystal Room there. It's a very nice ballroom with beautiful chandeliers hanging from the ceiling. And that's why it's called the Crystal Room, because that's how nice the chandeliers are. And there's a very nice checkered dance floor that goes along well with our theme of Night in Wonderland. It goes along with and large checkered dance floor goes along with
Cute they are.
the color scheme of the blacks and the whites and the reds. We're really looking forward to it. There's going to be good food, music, and dancing. This is kind of a preview of what our centerpieces are going to look like. Various cues from a movie, Alice in Wonderland, the 2 different movies. Promenade is going to be held at 5 p.m. that same day. And we've been working really hard for the past couple months, just preparing everything, getting it ready, and we hope to see you there. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very nice.
Your name is?
Carter McMurdo.
Oh, I knew you.
Yeah.
I knew your mom for you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. McMurdo.
Good. Thanks.
All right, we're going to go to the visitors. If you would please state your name for the record and whatever the purpose of your visit is.
I'm Jonica Walters. I'm the enrichment coordinator for the district, and I have 2 elementary students who performed very well in some academic competitions, and when they said they were coming, I couldn't couldn't leave me behind. I wanted to come too.
I'm Kathy McCommons, I'm here, PTO rep, and I'm also Molly's mom and Maddie's and Dave's wife. And
Yeah, I'm Molly. I'm here to speak about,
Sure.
oh, yes, please.
You got the floor.
Okay,
maybe when hated.
You guys want to get pulled? Yeah. Come on up.
Don't let Bob scare you. I'll kick him if he doesn't anything back.
She's mean.
Hi guys, I'm Molly. I'm
Speak up, Molly.
Hey.
We're old, some of us have trouble hearing.
Okay, I qualified for, well, we both did, but I qualified for the National Academics Competition this April in Florida. I had to compete in, I qualified with 2 games called Presidents and Propaganda. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about both of the games to give you some information on what they are. Well, in Presidents, basically all you have to do really is learn about lots and lots of information about presidents, basically what the name is saying. And then the second game that I qualified for was called Propaganda, where I had to learn different techniques of persuasion. So an example of propaganda would be a girl talking to her mother who really wants this dog. She might say something like, "Mom, I really want this dog. I mean, everyone at school has one, why can't I?" That type of propaganda would be called bandwagon appeal. There are many different types, and that's just one of the many. So thanks for your support, guys.
I am Hayden Slade, and I'm in the gifted program with Mrs. Walters. And in the gifted program, I get to do special activities, special competitions, such as Envirothons and the academic games. Every year, the academic games host a national competition, and this year is in Florida. Also, this year, I qualified to go to nationals. I qualified in onsets and propaganda. My favorite part about the academic games is meeting new people and competing against them. Thank you for listening to me, and I will represent the school and school district well.
Thank you.
Sure
Good
that
luck
you
to
will.
both of you.
We have a couple of questions, guys. Don't go anywhere.
You don't want to.
What grade are you in, young man?
4th,
4th grade.
6th grade.
6th grade. Have you ever been to Florida before?
Yeah, for vacations.
What about you?
Yes, for vacation.
Oh, so this is old hat for you guys. Well, we wish you a lot of luck and congratulate you. We know that you'll do an excellent job representing Ellwood City Area School District. Bring home some trophies or medals or something. Thank you for coming. All right.
David McCommons, just here in support of my daughter Molly. Thank you.
Pam McMurdo, here as a parent.
Doug Slade with my son Hayden.
Hayden, we already met, and I'm Jennifer Slade, here with Hayden.
And then.
I'm Maddie McCollins, and I'm here with my sister and my mom and my dad.
Congratulations to the parents and family members as well, because we know that it takes strong support at home for success in the classroom as well. So we wish you a great trip, and want to hear all about it whenever you get back.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you for
coming.
the opportunity.
Thank you, Mrs. Walters, for helping out the gifted program. I know you do a great job with it, so.
Thanks, Pat.
Good job.
Here, here. All right, we'll go to the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Not much to report since we had Mr. Keeley present the grant information. Grant information the other day. Just some updates. Easter break will be April 3rd through the 6th. We did move one of those days, April 2nd, to a snow makeup day, so it will be school that day. PSSA testing is right around the corner. Starts April 7th for students in grades 3 through 8. And obviously getting close to that. We just got the numerous boxes of tests delivered today, and so we had to go through them all, make sure they're all here. So, and I know there was an update about the water line out at the stadium. The report is the water line is fixed. They were out there today. Mortimer Construction realized it was their issue, and they were out there digging today, and it's actually fixed today, and the water's gonna be turned on tomorrow. So that's all taken care of. So the water line, I got a text from Steve today later in the afternoon that it's done. So.
My wildest dreams, I never thought it would be done that quick.
Well, we got some emails, Rich got some emails from Mortimer saying we'll be here within the next couple of days, and they were here today, and it's dug up and got pictures
Nice
of
day to
it.
do it.
Did they figure, did they put it back the way it should be
Yeah,
this time?
it's
They're all
all
happy?
fixed, I guess, so, yep.
Good.
The borough manager really cooperated, he really pushed it to get that project on a timely basis.
Great.
That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Mancini. We will go to Revenue and Finance, Mr. Morella.
Thank you, Mr. Newpower. Under Revenue and Finance, number 7, General Fund Treasurer's Report. In your folder is the General Fund Treasurer's Report for the period February 1st through February 28, 2015. The summary of accounts is as follows. ESB checking, $75,798.09. PLGIT, $10,324.28. PSD LAF, $1,385.17. PA Invest, $378.71. ESB certificates of deposit, $4,637,704.09. ESB Bank Public Investment Account, $4,521,613.05. Total cash and investments at February 28, 2015 is at $9,247,203.39. I move that the Treasurer's Report for the month of February 2015 be approved as presented.
Second, Mr. Pizzelli. Any questions concerning the motion? Any objections? Motion passes.
Number 8, General Fund Accounts Payable Report. In your folder are the General Fund Accounts Payable checks. Included in the first batch of checks are checks 108748 through 108941, and 16 wire transfers amounting to $2,617,659.31. The second batch includes checks 108943 through 108971, and 6 wire transfers amounting to $1,088,124.71. I move the General Fund Accounts Payable checks and wire transfers be approved as presented.
Second. Ms. Pansara? Any questions? Any objections? Motion passes.
Number 9, Capital Reserve Fund Treasurer's Report. In your folder is the Capital Reserve Fund Treasurer's Report for the month of February. The total investments at February 28, 2015 were $660,993.65, and the total available in the checking account was $363.32, for a total available of $661,356.97. I move the Capital Reserve Treasurer's Report be approved as presented.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Pizzelli. Any questions regarding the motion? Any objections? Motion approved.
Number 10, Capital Reserve Fund Accounts Payable Report. In your folder is the Capital Reserve Fund Accounts Payable Report. It includes one check, number 1438, amounting to $35,518. I move the report be approved as presented.
Second, Mr. Cortez. Any questions? Any objections? Motion passes.
I would also ask that the following reports be made part of the minutes of this evening's meeting. As of January 31st, 2015, the cafeteria report. And as of February 28th, 2015, the tax collection report, the revenue versus budget report, expenditures versus budget report, investment report, investment earnings report, cafeteria report, athletic facility fund report, Helling Stadium Century Club report.
Mr. Zarell, will you make sure they're made part of this evening's minutes?
Number 11, Midwestern Intermediate Unit 4 budget. A copy of the 2015-16 Midwestern IU4 budget totaling $4,075,793 has been distributed to the board for review and consideration. The budget reflects an Ellwood City Area School District contribution of $16,971 to fund IU operations. I move that the 2015-16 Midwestern Intermediate Unit Midwestern Intermediate Unit 4 budget in the amount of $4,075,793 be approved as presented and incorporated into the minutes of this evening's minutes.
Second. Mr. Stevenson. Any questions?
I knew you'd get there,
Any objections? Motion passes.
Number 12, special meetings. Work has begun to develop the 2015-16 general and capital reserve fund budgets. Several work sessions will be required to complete the budget for board consideration. I move that public work sessions be scheduled for 7 p.m. on Wednesday, April 22nd and Wednesday, May 6, 2015. I further move that a special meeting be scheduled at 7 p.m. on April 29, 2015 to receive bids on the Lincoln HVAC project with a public budget session immediately following.
Second. Ms. Petrelli. Any questions? Any objections? Motion passes.
Number 13, consolidated federal programs application. In your folder is a resolution authorizing the district to participate in the Midwestern Intermediate Unit 4 Consolidated Federal Programs Consortium at an administrative fee of 3.1%. It further directs that all funds distributable to the district be paid directly to the business manager of IU4.
Second. Mr. Garda. Questions? Any objections? Motion passes.
Number 14, E-rate letter of agency. In your folder is a letter of agency that confirms the district's participation in the Midwestern Intermediate Unit 4's E-rate consortium. Authorizes MIU4 to submit E-rate forms on behalf of the district and certifies the district's responsibilities under the E-rate program. I move the letter be approved as presented.
Second. Ms. Pansero. Any questions? Any objections? Motion approved.
Number 15, repository tax sale approval. Kevin Hoffmeyer has submitted a bid of $510 for a property located on Wayne Avenue, Ellwood City. Tax ID 11-082900. In your folder is a bid acceptance form for repository property. I move that the bid of $510 be accepted and the business manager be authorized to execute the form and return it to the Orange County Tax Claim Bureau.
Second. Mr. Garda. Any questions?
Question.
Mr. Stevens.
This property, what is it, just a piece of scrap property or something? Is it homes on it?
I would think it's just a small lot with nothing on it. I'll confirm that for you on, I can confirm that by email, but I don't know what's on the actual property.
As I understand, it was exposed to upset sale, I didn't know.
Right, so there's a sitting in the repository. And now this one did it back on the after tax.
Okay. Okay.
Any objections to the motion? Motion passes.
Okay, number 16, notice of adoption of policies, procedures, and use of funds. In your folder is a notice of adoption of Midwestern Intermediate Unit's policies, procedures, and use of funds, which are implemented to fulfill the requirements of 22 PA Code Chapter 14 and the regulatory requirements under the Individuals with Disabilities Act, Part B. I move the notice be approved as presented.
Second. Mr. Cortez. Any questions about the motion? Any objections? Motion approved.
Number 17, hybrid learning consulting services agreement. In your folder is an agreement between Delacour Strategies LLC and the district for consulting services for a hybrid learning pilot program for the period of January 1st through June 30th, 2016, at a cost of $75,000. I move that the agreement be approved contingent upon solicitor review and approval.
Second. Mr. Garda. Any questions? Any objections? Motion approved.
And last but not least, number 18, deputy tax collectors. Act 164, 2014 requires that local tax collectors appoint deputy tax collectors in case of incapacitation. Sue Dean, Wampum tax collector, has appointed Pam Kreitzer, and Mary Ann Portugallo, Ellwood City Borough tax collector, has appointed Darla Jean Portugallo as deputy tax collectors for their respective municipalities. I move the appointments be acknowledged and approved.
Second. Mr. Petrelli. Any questions? Any objections? Motion passes.
And that is all I have tonight on the revenue and finance, Mr. Newpower.
Thank you very much, Mr. Morello. Brings us to personnel and education, Mr. Garda.
Thank you, Mr. President. Number 19, student teacher. I move that Ms. Taylor Kovac from Geneva College be approved as a student teacher for the fall semester for the 2015-2016 school year at Perry Lower Intermediate under the supervision of Mrs. Jane Wingworth and Mrs. Sherry Shearer.
Second.
Okay.
Ms. Petrelli. Any questions? Any objections? Motion approved.
Number 20, extended season pay. I move that the following coaches be approved for extended season pay for their respective sports. Girls basketball, Jolene Servick, $100. Dina Noble, $50. Mark Hall, $50. Wrestling, Craig Alberts, $100. Nick Leonard, $50.
Second. Mr. Cortez. Any questions?
Just question, didn't we give the head coaches 200 for extra season?
100 per week.
For a week.
100 per week.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions? Any objections?
I have a question, and it doesn't have to do with this per se, but like with Mrs. Walters, and I'm not sure on how that works with what she does. Does she get paid when they're on the weekends or like when they're out of town? So there is no like extended pay when they qualify for that. Isn't that something that we could, I mean, if they do it for the sports, why aren't we doing it for the academics? That's her personal time away.
Well, I mean, you mean for this one that she's going on?
Well,
She did request pay for this one that she's going on, for a time that, I guess, isn't a school day. The only thing is, we have a lot of teachers that go to conferences on weekends, and, you know, like, where do you draw the line, I guess, on, when you pay people for being away? You know, like, teachers take kids to field trips on a weekend, or New York City on a weekend. Do we pay them? I don't know. I mean, so that's
Well,
why
I guess it would
kinda.
depend what, I mean, like, those are the field trips like you're talking about when Ms. Grieco goes to New York.
Right.
Okay, well, isn't she being paid when she's here through school because we have subs for her, and I thought she is
Well,
being
I'll
paid.
tell you what, if it's like on a Sunday,
Uh-huh.
or, you know, or Saturday, that would mean you request pay for those weekend days that she's not working, that she's with those kids.
That's what I don't know. Is the competition, is that weekend or is that during the week? Do you
It's
know?
both, I think. I think it's both. I'm not sure the exact.
Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah, I don't remember when
Yeah.
the dates were.
Thursday through.
Oh, yeah, you're here.
It goes on Saturday, Sunday as well.
Is there
There's
actual competitions
Yes,
are?
there's competition on those days.
I don't know, I'm asked, that's why I'm asking, it just kind of struck with them both being here the same night, if there was some kind of pay for her, a bonus for going above, but I guess it's kind of like the same thing, they've kind of gone to nationals. So it's, you know, it's kind of the Super Bowl of academics.
Yeah, well, the sports coaches usually, they're paid extra because, like the football coaches, if they go an extra week, it's out of school time. You know, Saturdays or Sundays are for everything. Same with basketball.
But they're paid for those nights, I mean, they are.
Well, no, they're not paid. They're paid till the end of the football season.
That's
The
the
end of the
actual.
basketball season. If they go to the playoffs, that's beyond. See, and I don't think $100.
I just was asking, like I
I
said,
know.
it was just a question, because I just didn't know.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Any objections? Motion passes.
Number 21, resignations. Mr. Joe Ricciuti, custodian, has submitted his resignation effective February 24th, 2015. B. Michelle Myers, 3-hour Northside cafeteria worker, has submitted her resignation effective March 13th, 2015. C. Charles Jaquette, school psychologist intern, has submitted his resignation effective immediately. I move the above resignations be accepted.
Second. Mr. Morella. Any questions? Any objections? Motion passes.
Number 22, school psychologist intern. I move that Rebecca Brathwaite be approved as a school psychologist intern for the 2015-16 school year at a cost of $12,000.
Second. Mr. Morella. Any questions? Any objections? Motion approved.
Number 23, coaching appointment. I move the following coaches be approved. A, Michelle Sarah as volunteer coach for the middle school and varsity volleyball. B, David Brander as assistant varsity track coach with a salary of $925.
Second. Mr. Stevens. Any questions?
I have a question.
Mr. Morel.
When does the volleyball season start?
Junior high, it's already started.
Oh, it's-
Yeah, they're practicing right now, as a matter of fact. So,
So how many coaches do we have?
this one's volunteer, I think there's 3 over there right now.
They don't have the clearances, I'm
I
guessing.
believe so. Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't, I can double check all that.
But we're only paying one? Jenna?
Yeah,
head coach?
right.
So, that makes it-
Junior high, I don't know. I can check into all that.
All right. Any other questions? Any objections? Motion approved.
Number 24, affiliation agreement, school psychology internship site. In your folder is an agreement between the district and Indiana University of Pennsylvania, outlining the duties and responsibilities of each party for placement of psychology intern during the 2015-16 school year. I move the agreement be approved as presented.
Second. Mr. Stevens. Any questions? Any objections? Motion passes.
Number 25, FMLA leaves. I move that Adrian Sokol, Lincoln High School teacher, be granted a family medical leave for the period March 27 through June 5, 2015. B, I move that John Kress, Lincoln High School teacher, be granted a family medical leave for the period March 3rd through May 26, 2015.
Second. Ms. Pansara. Any questions?
Question on that one,
Mr.
too.
Morel.
Is there a reason why Mr. Gress wants to come back for the last week of school? Why doesn't he just take the?
I'm not sure he's coming back. That's how long
But
his
that's-
medical leave, that's the 12 week.
Okay, oh, okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Any objections? Motion passes.
That's all I have for tonight, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Garda. That will take us to properties and transportation. Ms. Pansara.
Thank you, Mr. President. Facility request. Casey Filatico, Lincoln High School teacher and representative for People to People Student Ambassadors, request permission to use the Leslie H. Sabo Jr. Memorial Auditorium on Saturday, March 21st, April 25th, and May 30th, 2015, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. to conduct meetings with students and parents participating in the People to People Student Ambassador Program. I move that the facility request be approved as presented.
Second, Mr. Garda. Any questions? Any objections? Motion approved.
Western Pennsylvania Gasoline Diesel Fuel Consortium. The Western Pennsylvania Gasoline Diesel Fuel Consortium has received bids and has awarded the 2015-2016 diesel fuel and unleaded gasoline contract be awarded to Gutman Energy Incorporated. In your folder is a summary of the 2015-2016 pricing. I move that the pricing be approved as presented.
Second, Mr. Gazzelli. Any questions?
Roll call vote.
Roll call vote, Mr. Zarone.
Mr. Bazzelli?
Yes.
Mr. Cortez?
Yes.
Mr. Garda?
Yes.
Mr. Morel?
Yes.
Mr. Newpower?
Yes.
Mrs. Pansara?
Yes.
Mrs. Petrelli?
Yes.
Mr. Stevenson?
Abstain. My wife does work for Gutman Energy.
Okay, motion approved.
Disposal of equipment. In your folder is a list of equipment that has been deemed to be unneeded, unusable, and/or obsolete. I move that the equipment be disposed of in accordance with Board Policy 706.1.
Second, Mr. Gazzelli. Any questions? Any objections? Motion passes.
That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you, Ms. Pansara. Next, we have Student Affairs and Athletics, Mr. Cortez.
Thank you, Mr. President. 29, field trip social events. A, Mrs. Jonathan Waters, game coordinator. requesting permission to take 2 students to the National Academic Games Tournament in Orlando, Florida, beginning Friday, April 24th, 2015, ending Monday, April 27th, 2015, with the cost to be paid under the parameters of board policy number 240. B, the 6th grade teachers are requesting permission to take a 6th grade class to Kennywood Amusement Park, Pittsburgh, on Thursday, May 28th, 2015. Students will leave at 10 a.m. and depart Kennywood at 6 p.m. The alternate date is Friday, May 23rd, 2014. The cost of the trip will be funded by the teachers and students. The administration recommends that permission be granted for the trip to take place because May 28th is currently a half day. C, Rick DeLoya, EC3 sponsor, is requesting authorization to take 5 students to Pittsburgh Penguin hockey game in Columbus, Ohio on April 4th, 2013, should be 2015, with an estimated departure time of 9 a.m. and return by approximately 9 p.m. I move the field trips and social event request be approved as presented.
Second, Mr. Garda. Any questions?
Just one. Is Mrs. Walters' trip paid for then by the school district, or is she contributing to that?
It's paid for.
Would it be paid
Yeah,
for?
we pay for her trip.
Okay. Thank you.
The other question, I think is what you were referring to, the alternate date is before the,
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know how you would pull that off. Maybe they're looking at the
It was supposed to
extended
be the
weather
20
forecast.
Wasn't it was the 9th? Wasn't
what I
it?
thought.
It was the day
29th.
after,
Okay.
on Monday.
And that would be 2015 as well. No problem. Okay, any other questions? Any objections? Motion approved.
30, secondary book adoption. The administration is recommending that the following textbook be considered for adoption. L. Leonard Guitar Method Complete Edition, published by L. Leonard for Lincoln High School Music Department for the 2015-16 school year. I move the book be acknowledged, placed on display, and submitted for final adoption at the April 2015 meeting.
Second,
Second.
Ms. Petrelli. Any questions? Any objections? Motion approved.
31, special education plan. Preliminary special education plan has been prepared, will be on display on the district's website in the boardroom. I move the plan be acknowledged, displayed for 30 days, and approved at a subsequent meeting.
Second,
Second.
Ms. Petrelli. Any questions? Any objections? Motion approved.
32, memorandum of understanding. Adagio Health. In your folder is a memorandum of understanding with Adagio Health to provide resources and training for teachers to integrate nutrition education into the school day. I move the memorandum of understanding be approved as presented.
Second, Mr. Garda. Any questions about the motion? Any objections? Motion approved.
33, athletic expense report. In your folder are the athletic fund treasurer's reports of February 2015. They reflect total expenses of $21,325.62. I move the athletic expense report be approved as presented.
Second.
Second, Mr. Gazzelli. Any questions? Any objections? Motion approved.
That's all I have today, Mr. President, for student affairs and athletics.
Thank you, Mr. Cortez. Recognition and communication, Mr. Stevenson.
I have several here, Mr. President. This, I'm assuming, came from Mr. Mancini. For board commendation, it says, congratulations to Coach Craig Alberts and the Lincoln High Wrestlers, Tyler Alberts and Mike Sinclair. Tyler finished in 3rd place in the WPIL, and Mike finished 4th in the WPIL. Tyler finished 6th place in his weight class at the Southwest Regional and qualified for the PIAA champions in Hershey. Tyler was able to win a match in the PIAA tournament and had a great year this season. Also, congratulations to Coach Patty Petrak and Lincoln High swimmer Taylor Petrak. This girl's won about everything there is to win. Taylor finished in second place in both the 50 and 100 meter freestyle at the WPIAL swimming championships. She earned silver medals for both events and qualified for the PIAA swimming finals that was held at Bucknell University on March 13th and 14th. Taylor went on to finish in first place in the 50 and third in the 100. She earned a gold and bronze medal for her accomplishment and had a great season. What that means, I really look at that, and I had to read the ledger the other day that they have a nice story about it. She's number one in the state in the 50-meter freestyle.
10th grader, too.
Yeah. Well, she's only going to get better. Assuming she stays healthy, she'll only get better. Okay, and much thanks go out to Athletic Director Anthony Petricola for his time and commitment to the athletic program, especially with his work and bringing in organizing the WPIAL sectional wrestling in Ellwood City. Mr. Petricola met and succeeded all the needs of the wrestling committee in running such an event. The event also included a number of individuals being assessed, including Mike Sinclair, Ellwood City maintenance worker and assistant wrestling coach. Mr. Petricola's professionalism was a feather in the cap of Ellwood City and the community. I attached the corresponding letter from the district, from the assistant director of the district health, stating such a and that basically says thanks to us for hosting it. Which is Mr. Petricola, by me. I'll pass out. Okay, we have congratulations to Marina Thetford, Lincoln High senior, who placed second chair recently and was selected for the Pennsylvania All-State Chorus Honors for a third consecutive year. She'll be participating at All-State at the end of the month, and it's the third consecutive year Marina has been selected for honors district, region, and All-State choir. And if you went to the class to the school musical this year, you can understand why Marina got all those awards too.
Very talented.
Both of them are. Older sister Anya is just as talented. Congratulations, Caitlin Cole, for recently being named a Carson Scholar. That's a great one. She was among 6,700 gifted students from across the nation and were named Carson Scholar for 2015. Her and her family are entitled to attend the annual awards banquet in Pittsburgh on May 24th to receive an award. The high school will receive a nameplate to add to the Carson Scholar Trophy. This I was great out of here. Now, Frank Keeley sends in thanks to the Ellwood City Police Department for their assistance with traffic during the 2nd Street Viaduct project. Their help has alleviated many potential problems and made 4th Street a safer place for our students. Congratulations to Grady Smith, 4th grade student at Perry, and Sammy DiCaprio, a 6th grade student at Barton, who were named to Carson Scholars also. They'll each receive a $1,000 college scholarship. The competitive scholarship is awarded to students who have a strong focus on academics and involvement. It's a great achievement for these students. And congratulations to Emily Baroni, a 6th grade student at Hartman, who was recognized as a Carson Scholar for the 3rd year in a row. That's good. Now, Mr. Kimmy, Mrs. McCollins, please pay attention.
Sorry.
Thanks to the ECE PTO for purchasing 60 copies of Ellwood City Then and Now. The book compares historic and present-day Ellwood City via photographs from back in the day. And the books are a fabulous resource for Ellwood City history. 30 copies of each will be housed in the libraries at Perry and Hartman. And also thanks to the PTO for organizing and funding the Valentine's Day parties. They were well planned and the students enjoyed the activities and treats. Keep going with that PTO thing. Thanks to them for their help with picture days at Hartman and Perry. The volunteers are invaluable at expediting the day and making everything run smoothly. Teachers and I are very grateful. You can go back to sleep. Congratulations to Miss Jonica Walters and 25 elementary students who competed in equations. That's a mathematics competition on Wednesday, February 18th. The students were undefeated in 18 individual shakes games. Not sure what that is. The 4th grade team won 5th place out of 31 teams, and the team was comprised of Hunter Rock, Maceo Pesci, I hope I said that right, Olivia Morrow, Chase Wilson, and Hayden Slade. In addition, Hunter Rock was undefeated in 3 rounds of play, qualifying him to compete at the Tri-Bowl competition. Of 158 students at the game, 16 students were undefeated. Hunter will join Hayden Slade, Jack Landis, and Molly McCommons in the Tri-Bowl competition. They've already had that, right?
They've had it and they did well.
Okay. All right. And there's a little picture on here. That's all I have in the way of congratulations. I just think we should have listened to those. Taylor Petrak, #1 in the state. When's the last time we ever had anybody #1 in any state?
Jake Walker.
Jake Walker, oh, yeah, that's right.
Our 2003 baseball team won a gold medal.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
92, 93 girls cross country went back to back, but the only individual one that I know is Jake Walker. So as a 10th grader, Taylor Petrak is now in some very elite company.
That she is, right?
And just the fact that she's independent, you know, and
Yeah, she's
doing everything on
independent.
her own. I mean, that's what's amazing. You don't even have the support of teammates and people to practice with and encourage you. I mean, that's really incredible.
We don't have a pool, you know, that's what's wrong with Connor Canassus.
She has practice tonight, but we're gonna do something for the April board meeting, presenters.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, she wasn't able to come tonight, plus it was kind of quick to get her like a plaque, but we're going to, kind of what we did with Jake, shadow box and the trophy case, and, we're gonna present it. She's at practice today, so she's gonna be at the April board meeting, so we can present it to her then.
I just say no, it is fantastic.
Strike that from the
You say, like you said, on a sophomore.
Again, I'd like to echo what Mr. Stevenson said in thanking the PTO for their continued great efforts for our students and faculty. And congratulations to the folks that were recognized. It does show some of the great things that are going on here in our district with not only the achievements in sports, whether it be swimming or wrestling, but in the academic games as well. All right, we have some, thank you, Mr. Stevenson, by the way. Great job. And we have some new business.
I mean, I guess the board, I don't have that in front of me because I haven't made a copy, but the library did make a request. And it's outlined in that paragraph. They're looking for exonerated taxes so that they can facilitate purchasing a property on Lawrence Avenue to increase the curb appeal in that area. I understand that it will become a public parking lot that would serve the library as well as just the general public.
Okay, I see. Well, let me read the new business here. #1, Ellwood City Public Library is interested in purchasing the property at 403 Lawrence Avenue, which formerly housed the Oasis Bar, with the intent of having the property demolished to improve the curb appeal of the immediate area. A public parking area would then be created. According to the Lawrence County Tax Claim Bureau, there are no outstanding school taxes. However, the 2015 tax bill in the approximate amount of $1,111 will be mailed for July 1, 2015. To assist in moving forward with the purchase, the library is asking that the 2015 taxes be exonerated. It is anticipated that the sale could close before the April board meeting. So if the board is inclined to act, it would need to consider the request under new business at this evening's meeting. Anybody care to make a motion?
Can I ask a question first?
Sure can.
How do we know for sure that the borough, the library is purchasing? What if the deal falls through and we wipe the taxes out? I'm sure Rocky would be happy with
It would be conditioned on the, and first of all, I represent the library, so just so you know that, but it would be, make a condition on them buying the property. And I guess if there's no back taxes, after they get through, I mean, if this is for the upcoming taxes, it may be converted to nonprofit, maybe tax exempt anyway. So
If you blow real hard on that building, it'll fall over.
what they're
Trying
trying
it's
to,
been left standing. I mean, it seemed like they were in such a hurry to quarantine that building, and here it is, what, easily a year later.
Costs
They
too much
were-
money to tear it down.
they were in court with the borough and Rockyburg.
Oh, yeah.
And I think just within the last month, did they get a decision to let them move forward, but the library's trying to buy it with some grant money, but it's limited that they have, so that's why they're asking for the exoneration if needed. The borough's willing to do the same with any back taxes, and in fact, I think contribute beyond that to help make the deal go through, so.
It is an eyesore, the way it sits right now.
Would it be a parking lot that the borough will maintain and put meters up in, or will it be free parking?
It's the library.
It's gonna be the libraries, whether they'll have an arrangement with the borough, kinda like the old St. Agatha lot where there were meters there, or whether it's gonna be, I don't know, but, you know, the borough's trying to work with the library to make that happen.
And as far as we know, the other two buildings are gonna stay there.
It's that whole, it's gonna, that building, even though it's 403, it's really that whole to the alley. And, you know, Rose Carasone has the beauty shop, that'll stay, that building is a separate
That's what I
building.
mean.
But that whole other side, it'll be that whole.
There's
Rocky's all the
Roses
way back.
and is there another building?
There was
It's just the library, and then
Yeah.
Roses, now that whole corner to the alley will be lawn parking.
So those are separate lots though, aren't they?
They're separate lots. No, I think that's all one, considered one lot. It has like different addresses, cause I guess some of the things on 4th Street have an address, but it's really one parcel.
At one time, that was a beautiful building, when I was a kid growing up, we lived right there. That was Rocco's Hotel, it was called. It was a residence hotel. And Eddie and Johnny Bianco, and Eddie Mitchell owned the Oasis. It was a beautiful, tall restaurant, and then the bar was out front. But, it's fallen on. Not sure, we just say bad times, leave it go with that.
All right, do we have a motion? Ms. Petrelli, a second? Mr. Cortez? Any further questions about the motion? Any objections to the motion? Motion passes.
By the way, do you know how much they wanted for that building? Because I called her and laughed for a half hour. It was in the book.
That had gone down, that price was a price reduction.
$180,000 it was.
It wasn't.
The library's not paying that much.
I'm quite sure they're not.
They're not even close. Rocky was, well, that's a whole other story. Yeah,
The
it
banks
was.
walk, I mean, the banks walk where everybody's trying to get the deal done, so they can.
That's good, that they're all cooperating.
Rich, this other thing on the agenda, update about the HVAC project.
No, there's no action, I just want to give you the timeline.
So
The
more
timeline should be,
informational.
it's just information.
Did everybody get this? Or?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so just to call your attention, number 2 on the agenda update, it says attached is the timeline for the proposed HVAC project at Lincoln High School. Bids will be received on April 21 and presented at the budget meeting scheduled for the 22nd. Based on the bids and the board's position, contract awards can be made at the special meeting scheduled for the 29th. Also, the initial invoice for architectural fees in the amount of $35,518 will be presented for board consideration. It was received the day after the committee meeting. Any questions about that timeline?
What is the architectural fees include?
I mean,
What is the architectural fees include? I mean, that's the $35,000.
it includes, I mean, designing, blueprints, drawing, visits down here, job conferences, and the whole ball of wax to handle everything. I mean, I would imagine that the drawing takes the most significant amount of time.
I understand, is that like a typical price? Is that-
It's a percentage of the project.
Oh.
So we approved, I think we accepted a proposal December, January. It's a 7% fee on the
Okay.
other project.
Thank you.
So they're hoping to complete this whole project during summer,
Correct.
from what I'm seeing anyway, hopefully.
We sat with the administration, Mr. Lake asked that we wait until school is out. So it should commence 3rd of June. The project proceeds, once the board would approve it April 29th, and that would give them to go ahead and order the equipment. So that's really what the proceeding of the project means. So just received the ad today, so we'll be getting that in the paper for, I believe, April 1, 8, 15 or something.
Okay, anything else under new business?
I did have one thing that, again, seeing some of these figures tonight reminded me when I spoke briefly with Mr. Mancini about the free lunches. In speaking with the backpack program and different things, talking to different people, I guess a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, some of the school districts in the area go free. They're all free lunches, and we can just touch base on that. And since we're still looking to find ways to save money, it's, like I said, come to my attention that when school district, if we would qualify for having the whole district on free lunches, we could save quite a bit of money. And it would take us out of the red. Now, I'm not sure if we qualify. Joe had mentioned that we had been close, and I think it's something maybe we need to pursue.
We looked at that last year. We looked at that the first year that it came in, and there's something with the reimbursement. I don't recall specifically off the top of my head. You get reimbursed for some of those meals, but you get reimbursed at a certain rate. So it didn't make financial sense for us to do it the first time we looked at it. We can certainly look at it again.
Like I said, the information that I had received was, there was great savings to the district by allowing all the kids to get free lunches
Right,
because
but there's certain reimbursements you
restrictions,
don't
right.
get. So therefore, in our case, it financially did not make sense the first time we looked at it. Again, we'll take a peek at it again.
You're good. Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, with nothing further, we're going to adjourn and go into executive session for, I'm sorry, go back to the visitors. My fault.
I'm sorry, I wasn't even gonna say anything, but then I got thinking just a tiny bit. And I wanted to ask if there was any way the board would consider examining things such as extended pay, for academic and non-sports groups, just to keep things equal for their, teachers or the leaders for the non-sports things as well. It'd be wonderful to be consistent in areas, if you do it for one group such as a sporting group. Consistency would be wonderful, whether it's band, music, academics.
We do, man.
I don't know if you give them extended pay, I don't know the details. Just, if you do it for one group, I'm hoping that it's done across the board for all groups in the various areas.
I think it's looked at individually, but in the case of the band, when the football team went to playoffs for 2 weeks, I think, 3 weeks, they paid the band director and Betty May. The only one they didn't pay was me.
Thank you, that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you very much. All right, now with nothing further, we'll adjourn to go into executive session. Personnel.
Have a good evening. Bye. Let's not eat this.
She didn't tell me that. It was a rehab doctor.
Okay. And they don't know you're diabetic, right?
Oh, she knows.